Hey Queens, get ready to dive into the absolute latest because the news cycle is spinning faster than ever. We've got major updates hitting the wire, and you're about to get the inside scoop you won't want to miss. First up, a major star is weighing in on a highly anticipated film's performance. Let's get into it. Next, we're digging deeper into the reasons behind that film's reception, exploring the broader industry pressures that might have played a role. It's a fascinating look at how external factors can impact even the biggest productions. Then, we're going behind the scenes of that same film, uncovering more details about on-set dynamics and the buzz that surrounded its release. Plus, we'll touch on some surprising personal reflections from the cast. And finally, a candid look back at a different on-screen experience, revealing an unexpected challenge faced by a beloved actress early in her career. Stick around for all the details, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Hollywood pressure fuels film's box office woes. Gal Gadot, the acclaimed actress known for her powerful roles, has recently shared her candid perspective on the underperformance of Disney's live-action Snow White remake. In a revealing conversation on the Israeli TV program, The A Talks, Gadot suggested that the film's box office results were significantly impacted by broader political pressures within Hollywood. She specifically pointed to a perceived obligation for celebrities to voice opinions against Israel, a dynamic she feels extends beyond the entertainment industry. The live-action Snow White, a project that held significant promise for Disney, ultimately failed to meet expectations, grossing $205 million against a substantial budget of $240 million. Gadot, who took on the pivotal role of the Evil Queen, expressed her disappointment with the outcome, stating, "I was disappointed that the movie was incredibly affected by all of that and that it didn't do well at the box office." She elaborated on the broader phenomenon, noting, "There's pressure on celebrities to speak against Israel, and it happened." Gadot acknowledged that while she can always provide context and explain her stance on the ongoing situation, people make their own decisions. Ultimately, she concluded with a philosophical acceptance of the unpredictable nature of the industry. But that's how it goes. You win some, you lose some. The film featured a star-studded cast, including Rachel Zegler as the titular princess, Andrew Burnap, Patrick Page, and Ansu Kabia. While the commercial reception was lukewarm, some critics offered a more positive outlook. Variety film critic Owen Glaberman, for instance, praised the adaptation, calling it one of the better live-action adaptations of a Disney animated feature. However, for the majority of viewers, the film did not capture the widespread attention anticipated, fading from public consciousness relatively quickly after its release. But what was it like behind the scenes? We're diving into the full story. This is just the beginning of our deep dive into the film's reception and the star's experiences. Star blames Hollywood's political climate for Snow White flop. Gal Gadot, the celebrated actress who portrayed the Evil Queen in Disney's recent live-action, Snow White, has offered her perspective on the film's disappointing box office performance. In an interview on the Israeli television program, The A Talks, Gadot articulated that the movie's commercial struggles were significantly influenced by the prevailing atmosphere in Hollywood, particularly the pressure on public figures to take stances on geopolitical issues. She highlighted a notable trend where celebrities face expectations to publicly denounce or speak against Israel amidst the ongoing conflict with Palestine. This happens a lot in various industries, including Hollywood, Gadot remarked during the program, where guests are interviewed by individuals on the autism spectrum. There's pressure on celebrities to speak against Israel, and, it happened. She conveyed her personal disappointment, stating, "I was disappointed that the movie was incredibly affected by all of that and that it didn't do well at the box office." Gadot emphasized her consistent effort to provide context and clarity regarding the situation in Israel, but acknowledged the ultimate autonomy of public opinion. "I can always explain and try to give context about what's happening here, and I always do that. But in the end, people make their own decisions," she added, concluding with a pragmatic outlook. "And it didn't do well at the box office, but that's how it goes. You win some, you lose some." The cast of Snow White included Rachel Zegler as Snow White, Andrew Burnap as Jonathan, Patrick Page as the Magic Mirror, and Ansu Kabia as the Huntsman. Despite the film's commercial underperformance, some critics found merit in the adaptation. Owen Glaberman of Variety, for example, noted in his review that, as it turns out, this is one of the better live-action adaptations of a Disney animated feature. However, this sentiment did not translate into widespread audience engagement, with the film failing to generate significant cultural or commercial momentum. But the story behind the film's reception is even more complex. Find out what else Gal Gadot had to say about the movie and her career. Gal Gadot addresses Snow White, box office slump and co-star rumors. Actress Gal Gadot has broken her silence regarding the box office failure of Disney's live-action, Snow White, and has also addressed speculation about her relationship with co-star Rachel Zegler. In a recent interview on the Israeli TV show, The A Talks, Gadot shared her insights into why the highly anticipated remake did not meet expectations and touched upon the controversies that have surrounded the film. Gadot explained that she believes external pressures, particularly within Hollywood, significantly impacted the film's performance. There was a lot of pressure put on celebrities, actors, creators to post against Israel, she stated, referencing the events of October 7th and the subsequent global reactions. And it happened. I can always explain and try to give people in the world context about the situation and the reality in Israel, and I always do that. But in the end, people make up their minds. She expressed her personal disappointment, noting, "I was disappointed that the movie was incredibly affected by all of that and that it didn't do well at the box office. But it is what it is, you win some, you lose some." Gadot also clarified her relationship with Zegler, stating, "We laughed and we talked, we had fun. I was positive the movie was going to be a huge hit." The Snow White remake faced a wave of criticism even before its release, including discussions surrounding the casting of Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, as the famously fair-skinned Snow White. Further controversy arose when Zegler made comments that some fans perceived as dismissive of the original 1937 animated classic, describing it as weird, and noting that the new version would deviate from traditional fairytale tropes, with Snow White not being saved by a prince. The film's premiere in Hollywood was notably low-key, with the studio opting to keep Zegler and Gadot away from reporters and avoiding questions about the film's more divisive aspects, such as the depiction of the Seven Dwarfs. Directed by Mark Webb, the film stars Zegler as Snow White and Gadot as the evil queen. The supporting cast includes Andrew Burnap, Titus Burgess, Martin Kleba, Jason Kravitz, George Salazar, Jeremy Swift, Andy Grotlushin, Ansu Kabia, and Patrick Page. But it's not just about the big films. Sometimes, early career experiences leave a lasting impression. We're also looking at a surprising revelation from another set. Gal Gadot recounts negative experience on Entourage set. In a candid reflection of her early career, acclaimed actress Gal Gadot has revealed that she intensely disliked her experience filming an episode of the popular HBO series, Entourage. Gadot, who has since achieved global stardom, recalled the guest spot, which aired in 2009, as a particularly unpleasant experience, even stating she hated it. Speaking on the Israeli TV program, The A Talks, Gadot, now 40, described the situation that led to her dissatisfaction. "What I hated and didn't enjoy at all was being on Entourage, an American series," she shared. The actress elaborated that the discomfort stemmed from an inappropriate interaction with someone on set. "Someone there behaved inappropriately. It got to the point where I left the set and stopped working with them." Gadot, however, did not provide specific details about the individual involved or the nature of the inappropriate behavior, keeping those elements private. Interestingly, Entourage director Doug Ellen later commented on Gadot's burgeoning career trajectory after her appearance on the show. He told you, "It's been wild to see, the actors who we found go on to whatever. I remember when Gal came in, it was a small little role, but everyone said, 'This girl is gonna be something big,' so it is cool to see." This sentiment highlights that even during a negative experience, her talent was recognized. This interview also provided a platform for Gadot to discuss her views on the box office performance of Disney's Snow White, where she played the evil queen. She reiterated her belief that the film's reception was significantly influenced by external pressures within Hollywood, particularly concerning public figures' stances on geopolitical matters. Gadot suggested that the industry's climate created an environment where celebrities felt compelled to speak out against Israel, which she felt negatively impacted the film's commercial success. She expressed disappointment, but also a pragmatic acceptance of the situation, acknowledging that you win some, you lose some. From blockbuster disappointments to challenging early roles, it's been a week of revelations. Stay tuned for our quick recap and all the ways you can stay connected with us. And that's a wrap, Queens. We heard Gal Gadot discuss the pressures affecting Snow White, explored the film's reception and co-star dynamics, and even got a peek into a challenging early role. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Red Carpet Queens for all the hottest updates, hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment, and comment below with your thoughts. Catch you next time.